Today's guest is not just a colleague, he's a friend, a mentor, and someone I've shared a lot of real estate stories with over the years. Paul Sharland is the off-plan director at Haus, and if you follow us there, you've probably seen us talking all things off-plan on the Haus podcast. But today, I wanted to sit down with Paul on my podcast to go a little deeper. We talk about his 20 years experience in Dubai, real estate, his journey into Dubai, what he loves about living here, and some of the lessons he's learned along the way. This one's a bit more personal. Let's get into it. Paul Sharland.
Hello, Steven Leckie.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you
Good,
today?
very good. So this is an interesting concept for us to, outside of Haus, and here we are having a chat.
Are we going to try and catch each other out, Steven?
No, it's not about catching it out, but I do have a first question for you today, Paul.
Yes.
Is who is Paul Sharland?
Who is Paul Sharland? That's a difficult question. Paul Sharland is from Walthamstow in London. Paul, very, very first job was at a florist, working with Longings, was in High Holborn, and the girl who I sat next to, who trained me how to do flower arrangements, was the one who done Princess Diana's bouquet. So I was trained with the best. My first proper job was Barclays Bank, and then my first proper city job was FX broking up the city for Marshalls, which I did for 9 to 10 years before moving to Marbella in 2002. I worked in the city for nearly 10 years.
That's the City of London.
City of London, yes. I worked on Liverpool Street, Broadgate. The last 2 years I worked in the city, I worked for Tulloch Prebon. And I remember sitting there in 2001, 2000, thinking, I've got a good job, the family's okay, got a nice house, kids are good, but surely this isn't it for the next 20 years. And it scared me. It scared me quite a lot. So I'd already said to Justine, my wife, I said, whatever we do, if we're given any sort of opportunity abroad to try something new and different, we're going to take it. And 6-7 months later, half an opportunity came up in Marbella. I had a friend there who was a very good lawyer, who's actually still there. He's a partner at Lexland Abogados. And he said, Paul, there's a lot of Brits and Irish buying at the moment, a lot of city boys buying, getting their bonuses. This was the noughties, like 2002, 2003. Why don't you come over here, set up your own boutique real estate company, use me for the legal side of everything and the processes and the transfers, and it could work really well. And effectively, that's what we did. We just got up, we left, flew to Marbella, February the 13th, 2002. Found a place to live and spent the next few months setting up a real estate company, just me and my lawyer, and we went from there.
How did you first hear about Dubai?
Interestingly, because I worked in the city, now there was the company I worked for, they actually, a lot of people used to go to Dubai on holiday, and some of them were coming back off holiday in 2001, 2002, so I bought somewhere on this palm, these shorelines or something, and all they had was like a scrap of paper as the receipt of having just spent X amount of money. And that was that actually put Dubai on the map for me quite early. So while I was in Marbella, the first 2 years, 2002 to 2004, were very good, very busy. And then I had a good 2004. At the end of the year, I was doing my accounts and my sort of look back over the year. And I thought, I had a really good year, but like there was 2 or 3 big deals that were 50-50s. They might have come off, they might not have. They did come off, so I had a good year. But had they not, it would have been a very different view. So I went into 2005 quite cautious, and I think by February, March, I just thought, this isn't happening in Marbella. This is slowing down quite a lot. And literally at the time, it was Dubai, Dubai, Dubai. There's a lot of people in Marbella buying. I knew previously from London. And then when I started talking to a couple of friends, and they said, where should I go? And it always went back to, well, you've got to go to Dubai, surely. That's the only place to go. You've got a hot real estate market, a new real estate market, and you can speak English. So that's what I did.
Very good.
We did.
And that's where our lives started, met, didn't we?
Yes. So if I remember correctly, I came over in April 2005 to have a look at Dubai. Never been before. One of the people I was going to be having a meeting with was Pauline Lill, who was from Edinburgh, but happened to live in Chinkford for a while, which happened to be 2 miles from where I used to live in London. So when we actually had the interview, it was, I know there, I used to drink there, I used to go to the castle, I used to go there, and Pauline offered me a job. And I think 2 days later, I had to come to the office in Bur Dubai, in Bank Street. The cab didn't know where to go. I remember calling the office, and they said, nobody knows where to go. You need to speak to Steven. And you came on the phone, and you directed me how to get to the office. And that was April 2005.
So it's my fault.
It's your fault entirely. And we actually started working together officially on September the 1st, 2005, because that was my first day.
How things have changed.
Yes.
And going back to those days, we can talk about all the changes. There's so many changes. But just in general, what do you love about Dubai so much? I'm assuming you do love Dubai, of course.
I do love Dubai. I have this aversion to cold weather, so I'd rather have extreme heat weather, personally. I like the fact that, when we came to Dubai, Stephen, we can't compare it to today, because when we came, it was still an experiment. They're trying to do something here. They're building something. What's going to happen? And we just went with it. It was the Wild West. Nobody sort of had a clear view of where Dubai was going. It's right, let's just go with it. And then I think from when I was here, same as you, for those 3 years, it was like just hit it and see where it goes. And the market was crazy. The market was good. We really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, we fell into this false sense of security that when there was problems in the US and Europe in 2007 and 2008, they weren't going to spread to the Middle East because we were protected, because we had all the oil money and we were in a different region. Obviously, that wasn't the case, because we we had a brilliant 2008, literally until September the 15th, which I still remember very well, because I woke up, I lived in Arabian Ranches, I went downstairs to make my coffee, I put the TV on, and Sky News said, Lehman Brothers has gone bankrupt. That was the strap line on the TV. Lehman Brothers used to be one of my clients when I worked in the city, so to me that was like a Goldman Sachs going bankrupt. That was one of the biggest investment banks in the world going bankrupt, and I thought, that's not very good. And I think 2 to 3 weeks later, me and you were sitting there, and we weren't crying, but we just knew that we were in trouble.
Yes.
And we were.
Yes.
2009 to 2010 weren't particularly good years for me. I'm not sure how they were for you.
Where were you in 2009?
I was just sitting there each month losing more money. It was
you
like
had a very expensive car at the time as well, didn't you?
I managed to pick up I'm not a car man.
You're definitely not.
I just like to go from A to B. But I managed to pick up a brand new Porsche Cayenne Turbo 2 weeks before, beginning of September, 2 weeks before the crash. And so I had this very expensive car that was spoilt on me, what actually happened to me was I was driving that car around for 2 years with the hump, because I thought, why have I spent all this money on this car, which I'm not even enjoying driving around Dubai? So that just added to my my sense of...
Did you keep it 2 years?
I paid $580 for it, and I sold it for $160 about 2.5 years later.
Wow. So here you are in Dubai, 2005, maybe even up until today. What's surprised you the most about Dubai?
I'll tell you what happened when I came, and you'll be the same. It was in Dubai, whatever they say goes. They're very strict. For instance, if you wrote a check out and you gave that check to someone and that bounced at the bank, then that person could report you to the police and you could go to prison. So anything they say they're going to do in Dubai, anything financial, anything like that, they've got to do it. Otherwise, you're breaking the law. I think that was a false sort of sense of everything they say is going to happen. And obviously we know towards the end of 2008 and 2009, 2010, that security that we thought we had, and they were going to do this, they were going to build that, you were going to get your money back if they didn't do this, that didn't transpire, and it actually taught us a lot about where Dubai really was. It was like a reset, but a reset that I didn't recognise at the time, but obviously going forward was the best thing they ever could have done, because they learned massively from their mistakes in a very, very positive way.
That's very true. What sort of lessons have you learnt in your time in Dubai?
You learn never to be surprised, because I think what it is, Stephen, we know this, and everybody who does our job knows this, but they don't think about it. We know that today, even us having done the job for a long time, we could take a phone call today. We could get like a customer inquiry today that could be life-changing. Or someone in the office could get a phone call today or take an inquiry or get a message. We've seen it over the last 20 years. That one phone call could lead to some business or a sale that literally could be life-changing.
What do you love most about living here in Dubai?
When I came to Dubai in 2005, what I saw then, and this is a good example, the Madinat had literally just opened. So people said, "Oh, you've got to go to see this Madinat," and people couldn't even like pronounce how it should be said. And I remember going there and they had the agency there.
This is Paul Sharland saying this, yeah?
I remember walking through the Madinat and being absolutely like, wow, like blown away. What is this? And then walking out, seeing the canal, seeing the boats, went into the agency, and I just thought, yeah, this is. I'm coming here. This is it. And then after that, we went to Emirates Towers and to Scarlett's, if you remember that.
I do remember Scarlett's very well.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And there was an agency across the way.
And the agency. They had the agency in Madinat and agency in Emirates Towers.
Yes. There was a girl, Victoria, who became a very good friend of mine. And I had quite a large house, as you know, in Barshan. I was renting out rooms. And she came along to rent a room. And we agreed everything. And she was a lovely girl. And I thought, I'm going to be really good friends with you. And I said, let's go out for dinner. I've heard about this new place, the Madinat. It's just opened. So we went down there. And we parked the car. Valley parked it. And then we said, we want to go to this Thai restaurant. It's called Pad Thai, the Thai restaurant on the water. And so he said, you just go down there. And we got down there. We went on this Abra along the waterways.
Yeah.
And we went up to the restaurant. And then we had an amazing meal. I think we were it was the first day that it opened.
Really?
Yeah. I think most of the people...
But I remember how I felt walking through the Madinat. Were you like, wow, what is this?
Yeah. And imagine this girl, Victoria, who became a really good friend of mine. I mean, had I been on a date with her, she would have been incredibly impressed. Because I was impressed with it. It was incredible. Yeah. No, that was good. Anyway, talking of which, hidden gems in Dubai. I know we're jumping around and we can edit this around, but hidden gems in Dubai. I know, because one of the things that you're very good at from an outside observing is you do enjoy Dubai.
Yes.
And I think you've always enjoyed aspects of Dubai.
Yes.
You don't hold back necessarily, let's say. I mean, things have changed a lot over the years, but obviously you're a family man now and you've got grown-up kids and everything and a lovely wife. But you do seem to go out a lot.
Yes.
So in all your travels, it may be past, present or future, what is your go-to place at the moment?
Well, my general view has been, particularly the last 12 months, is that we are selling Dubai. We are living and breathing Dubai and everything it offers. So to me, when I'm dealing with my clients, I don't want them just to buy a property with no emotion. Although we're dealing mainly with investors, when we're talking about Dubai and the different areas, I'm of a very strong belief that whatever we're talking about, we've got to talk about with passion and belief. So, I don't go out and drink anymore, but I like really good food. So, for instance, recently there's been J1 that's opened. So every weekend I can go to J1, go to African Queen or Sakhalin. They've got Gigi's, they've got Baoli. Going to have a lovely, lovely meal, bottle of sparkling water, very reasonable. I've had a nice, relaxing day. I think there's all of these areas in Dubai that weren't around when we came, and we thought we had a lot to do then. I mean, you look at Al Quoz. Al Quoz years ago was an industrial area. Now parts of Al Quoz have become trendy and like, I don't know, like the Shoreditch of Dubai or whatever you want to call it, art galleries and cafes. There's all these different areas you can go to now that weren't there before. I mean, literally the choice is massive. When we came, there was a lot to do, but you were still limited. You had your Friday brunches. You could go to your friend's villa at the weekend and sit around the pool and do a barbecue and everything. But now in Dubai, there's so much to do. Literally every day and every night you can go out and do something different. So if we're living and breathing Dubai and selling Dubai, surely we should be making the most of those experiences. So when a client says, have you been there? We went there when we last came on holiday. I don't want to say, no, I've never been. What, so you're trying to sell me Dubai and I've been to places you haven't been in Dubai. I want to have been everywhere, just so I can give a full emotional and a response that is like based on knowledge and an actual feeling.
So if you had someone coming over from the UK or whatever to visit you for the first time, where in Dubai would you take them Yeah, we'll take them 5-star, J1 or something.
Yeah.
Where would you take them 3-star or 1-star?
You definitely go Kite Beach, because if we remember Kite Beach years and years ago, there was no toilets, there was nothing there. It was literally just a beach. There was nothing. So you look about that whole strip now is all like with the running tracks, the cafes, the restaurants, the service areas. I mean, that's a nice experience which wasn't there before. I'd take them to Marsa Al Arab. You can go there, and it's the brand new hotel next to Burj Al Arab and Jumeirah Beach Hotel. You can have a lovely meal. It's very reasonable. You can spend as much money as you want to spend. You can go and have a couple of orange juices or a coffee. I'd take them to Sal at Burj Al Arab, because that is still regarded as one of the hotels of the world architecturally. I think Sal, just to have something to eat, it's a brilliant place to go. If you want to go a little bit off track, as we said before, you could go to our haus and like the sort of arty, funky sort of areas of Dubai. And if we wanted to go back in time, I actually went, you remember this, Stephen, a few weeks ago, we went to Buddha Bar at the Grosvenor House.
Yes.
Now, the last time I went there, literally would have been probably 12, 13 years ago. We went there, and I tell you what, it was brilliant. I had a fantastic meal, fantastic service and entertainment. And that's going back 15 years. So, I mean, I could think of more and more things as we speak now of what you can do in Dubai. The list just gets longer of nice and exciting things to do.
Do you still get up early in the morning and go and sit by the pool?
Not particularly, no.
Because that's what you used to do.
Yeah, I'm. Well,
Was that to recover from the night before?
Well, for me now, it's my lack of sleep that is a problem for me, because I'm an insomniac. So any sleep I get every night is a bonus. It can range between no sleep and 5 hours, or 2 to 5 hours. I got 3 hours last night. That's why I look fresh today.
It's not all amazing, Dubai. There must be something that you don't like about it.
Look, to me, if we obviously go back to the UK, we go back to Europe. I went to Europe. I had a city break last year in Europe. We went to Lisbon, we went to Madrid. Unfortunately, all I see when I go back to the UK and Europe is it's not getting any better, and they're going to be struggling for the next 5 to 10 years. So even if they were performing really well, I would still prefer Dubai. I love Dubai because I just like the whole. It's got like the Dubai hum, which we spoke about earlier. You know, when you get off a plane in Dubai, to me, you can smell business. You can smell this can-do attitude. And it's like the frequency in Dubai isn't like anywhere else in the world. This is an exciting place to be. So to me, if you've got this get up and go attitude, or you want to get up and do something, and you're sitting in the UK or you're sitting in Europe and you're dragging yourself out of bed to go to this job you don't really want to do, why stay there? Go somewhere where you can actually make something of your life, which we did. And we know from when we came, it was more difficult then, but it worked. And now we know that for most people that come here, and I'd probably say 99 out of 100, it works very well. They come and they say it's the best thing they've ever done.
True. So here we are, Paul Sharland. What's a typical day look like for you? A weekday. We'll start with the weekday, and then we'll come on the weekends. What's a typical weekday for you?
Well, I can get up at any time between, or I'll get out of bed any time between 4 and 6 o'clock. I occasionally use the gym in the morning. I'll get into work for 8:30. We have a managers meeting on a Monday morning. Generally, I was recently promoted to off-plan director, so it's a team of around 70 at the moment. It's managing the team, it's helping, it's answering questions, it's giving advice, it's giving opinions, it's helping hopefully people to do more deals and make more money. That's the whole idea of what we're doing is for everyone to help each other. You know, we're competing against 20,000 other agents in Dubai. So our 70 to 80 off-plan investment agents, we should all be working together to do more deals to make more money.
On that point, what do you think sets our team apart from the fact that you're our leader now? But what sets our team apart from probably any other agency or other agencies out there?
I genuinely believe that we care more than any other agency. From my experience of dealing with clients and other agencies, I think that we care about what the client buys. If they're an investor, we want to make sure it's the correct investment. You know, anything I sell, I want to make sure that they can rent out that property. I want to make sure that in 5 years in the future, they can exit and sell quite easily. I'd like to think they'll be able to sell with a profit. We know there's a lot of agents in Dubai. They're not going to be here in a couple of years. They will sell anything. They will say anything, do anything just to get a deal done. We want to be here in 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. I'm not sure about us two, but House and House definitely want to be. So particularly with our investors, whether they've got 1 million dirhams, whether they've got 50 million dirhams, we care about what they buy, and we want what they buy to perform for them to be a good investment for their portfolio.
Do you think you've always thought like that?
I
Since
do,
day
yes.
one? Since day one of arriving in Dubai?
Yes.
I don't think you've changed at all, really, apart from your look, because you're getting a little bit older now. But generally, and you've got hair now, because you didn't used to have hair then.
I used to shave my hair by choice.
Yeah.
Because it used to save me a bit of time every day. Because
Yes.
when I was young and handsome and did my hair every day, it used to be quite time-consuming.
But generally, if you look at the way that you approach business, I think I'm probably about the same, but definitely you as a sort of long-term colleague, I've never seen you really change your way. In fact, you have an opinion. You're very difficult to change your opinion.
No, I mean,
often.
I think the way I am, if I've got an opinion on something, it's going to be quite a strong opinion because I have an opinion. But if I don't have if something doesn't affect me or bother me or have some sort of emotional sort of thing in my head, I just won't give an opinion. It's like, I don't care. You do whatever you want to do. We know that you're going to get the people who have to give an answer, whether there's an answer or not. They just want to speak because they want to be heard, but they're not really saying anything. I'd like to think that, when we speak and give advice, that it means something and it's for a purpose. It's giving good advice to that person to help them.
So I was thinking about this question last night and what I should ask you. And I think this is a bit unfair, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So we've been together now, not together, but we've been working together off and on for 20 years, yeah? What do you know about me?
I know that you're... what sort of question is that? What do I know about you, Stephen? I know that you used to go to the Camden Palace in the 80s. That's one of the first things I learned from you, because I remember discussing the Camden Palace with you when I started. So I went there in 1988. I know that you're very passionate about what you do. I know that you have belief in what you do. I know you're very set in your ways. I know you like your food. I know you like helping people. And I know that you like things just to carry on and be good and not too much change at the same time.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you one thing that I've always liked about the way that me and you have worked together, Stephen. So I remember back in the day, we was always looking for the best investment. We'd always be searching the market, and I always used to find that if me or you looked at something and we liked it, I'd tell you or you'd tell me. Then we look at it together. We look at it a bit more, and then we go, we like this, and then we'd do everything we can to pull it apart to find things wrong with it. And then if we couldn't, we're like, this is pretty good, this. And then we'd put together a pitch. We put together how we're going to present it, and then we start selling it. And we were very successful like that.
Talking of selling properties, because that's what we do. Can you remember, I know you can remember, I could probably remember because we probably all heard about it, the first property you sold in Dubai?
Well, I have a bit of a story here.
Yes.
It was, are you talking about the Springs one?
No, I'm asking, I know what I think that's the first one.
Right,
So everybody in the whole company knew about it, so, while you were doing it.
When I started, I was just ringing round, and we had a 4E for sale in the Springs, which was a corner plot on the lake, and it was a big plot. And at the time, everyone was saying that there's no way any of the Type 4s in the Springs will ever go above 1 million dirhams. And this was a pretty special 4E. And then I was ringing round. Ben Keith, who was another guy who came here in 2005, who we still speak to, Ben, who's at Sotheby's. Unless something has changed and history has changed, myself and Ben Keith, we sold the first ever Type 4 over 1 million dirhams in Dubai, which was, I think, November 2005.
Amazing.
Yes. I also done an international city. I remember doing that, a studio there.
Did you?
And then I did, I think I'd done 3 or 4 resales when I first started, and I think it was.
Did you learn not to do any more?
Yeah,
after
and
that?
then I said from January the 2nd, I never ever want to do a resale again, ever in my whole life, ever.
Yeah, I think that was probably peer pressure. All of us saying, please don't do any more, because we can't handle the pressure. We can't handle you stomping around the office.
I think you're talking about a completely different time, Stephen, because at the time we were in a very small office, and there's only about 5 of us, and we was in Bank Street when I was doing that deal.
Yeah, but no, I suppose there wasn't a lot of walking around.
No, there wasn't. There was no walking around. It was just fiddling with your feet.
Yes, it was a small office. That's for sure. Can you imagine? I wonder what's happening there now. Anyway, you've been very successful in real estate in Dubai. I think probably one of the more successful people I know who have stuck with sales, not owning your own real estate company, but definitely in the same level as me as being a real estate agent. I just wonder where and now you're, what is it? Your job title?
Off-plan director.
Off-plan sales director, or just off-plan director?
Off-plan director. Well, I could be the off-plan and investment director.
That's it.
But off-plan director is just easier to say.
Yes. And where do you see yourself in maybe 5 years' time now?
Wow. Well,
personally or professionally?
Well, I mean, in 5 years' time, I'll be going into my 50s, so I'll probably be looking at things differently. I'd still like to be at House and House in 5 years' time.
Right. And where do you see that going?
Well, look, who knows? I mean, we know that House and House is here for the long term, and we know what they've built and what they're continuing to operate, and that's in my opinion, that will be the company to deal with in Dubai. Like the main company. It would be like, whereas people say you only deal with EMAR in Dubai, maybe it would be, well, you should deal with House and House in Dubai.
Really?
Similar sort of thing. Yeah, I do believe that. Just because, what we do and the way the agents are taught is to do a good job and to care about what we're doing.
What's a really good piece of advice that you would give to someone who is on the way to moving to Dubai?
Definitely, once they arrive in Dubai, go and rent a car and drive to as many parts of Dubai as possible over the first 1 or 2 weeks. The amount you will learn about Dubai and all of the offers in these different areas, and some parts of Dubai are so different from other parts, you will never know this unless you go to these places. Your knowledge, and then you selling Dubai after that, becomes so much easier because you know what you're selling and you love what you're selling. When they get here, don't treat it like a holiday. It's very common. They go out for the first weekend and then end up going out every weekend and then during the week. Then 3 months later, they've got no money left, and after 6 months, they're back in their own country, thinking, what a waste. A piece of advice I would give now is that when you first come here, if you're going to be renting, do not commit to a yearly rent right at the beginning, because you are committed for a year. Say you don't like your neighbours or where you are, or you don't like the school run, you're going to have a problem for the next 11 months. So I would always short term, if I was moving to another country, maybe for 1 to 3 months, live in a couple of different areas, find out what you do and don't like. There's so much choice in Dubai now, which wasn't there before. You will find something which suits most of your needs.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you, Stephen.
No, really. There's not a lot I disagree with you about, to be honest.
Well, one of the reasons we've always worked so well together, Stephen, is because 90% of the time we agree on what we're doing.
Yes.
Which is a good sign, because if we agree on it, usually it means it's a good thing, I'd like to think.
No, agreed.
Yes.
There's been a couple of mistakes along the way.
Everyone makes a few mistakes.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate your time.
And thank you very much, Stephen.
And I'll see you in the office in about half an hour.
I'll see you in the office in half an hour. It's always a pleasure to sit down with you, Stephen.
Is it?
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Huge thanks for Paul for coming on and sharing his insights. And personally, it means a lot to have one of my longest standing friends and mentors join me for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the episode. I'm Steven Leckie. See you next time.